Yes, Friday, the day you do all your grocery shopping, and the day you do the Worsh. Doesn't everybody do the Worsh on Friday? That was the thing, you know, when you're a kid, you go for groceries, Dad would get paid. Back in the day, we used to do that. And I'd like to say hello to a lot of people, but then I'll start sounding like that chick from RomperRoom. And that chick from RomperRoom, she was a little weird. Even when I was 3-4 years old, and she would hold that little beauty mirror up to her face, I'd say I would be yelling at the TV because we thought there were people in the television back then. This is way back before they had the flat screen. There was a box. You always thought there were people in there acting. This is how the mind works. My mind, anyway. And I'm sure a lot of you remember that. But the lady on RomperRoom, she's looking at a mirror, and there's no mirror in there. I said, hey, I don't want her to call my name out, which she never did. Like Rick was an impossible name to call out. But she needed to be in the loony bin, looking through a mirror, and she couldn't even see herself. Names. Oh, we have to go off on names. I have so many things to talk about. I have a thing on names as well. I was watching a Judge Judy episode, one of my favorite television shows of all time. I love Judge Judy. JJ. She lets me call her JJ. And there was a name of a lady on the show. Her child was in with her. I forget what the court case was. The kid's name was Tanith. Tanith. For I take the tanning butter, and I shall tanneth on the tanneth bed. Tanith was this girl's name. Haven't heard that one. Well, I have a whole list of names for you as we go through this. And, of course, times have changed. How so and if for you, for good, for bad? When I was in high school in the mid-'70s, the campus was open. Anyone could. All the doors were open. We'd run out, have a smoke when we were changing classes. You got like 4 minutes or something to change classes. We'd run out. And there were no guards at the door. I think there was a hall lady at the front door at George Washington High School on the southeast side of Chicago.
Southeast side rules.
I think, and even we used to go out to lunch. We were able to leave and drive. If you had a car, you could drive your car and go out to lunch. And I think later in the 70s, you had to have lunch inside. They closed. They wouldn't let you out. I don't know if it was a closed campus or not. We didn't call it a campus back then. It was a big school. We just said school. You going to school? Yeah, I'm in school. I'm on campus. But we didn't. We never thought about shooting in school. I mean, the biggest thing that happened in the 70s for us was when you went running in nude. What they call that? Streaking. The big streaking. I was thinking of skitching in the nude. Yeah, that's what we did. That was about the gist of it. You know, we had a lot of crazy kids in school. I mean, there was a lot of drugs, rampant drugs, but it was more like, yeah, cool, man, all cool. What are you doing, man? You're going out to the beach for lunch? You're going to go over to Cal Park? Wow, that's cool, man. We're going to run out to Eggers Woods. It's all groovy, man. Nothing uptight. Not like all this craziness today. My mom always said, we need another depression in order to set everything straight. There may be some truth to that. I'm not sure. I'm not an economist. I'm not pretending to be. I understand some of it, but sometimes if it doesn't seem logical to me, so that's where I have a problem. I'm a kind of a logical guy. I like logic, and government is not logical. Yeah, but Mom said we need another depression. This way everything will fall apart. Then we could start rebuilding and everything would go down. Because everything's too high. It could only go so high. People are only making certain amount of money. Now, the rich folk have nothing to worry about. They don't care if they went $10 a pound for salami. They don't really care, even though a lot of them are penny pinchers. Not good tippers, some of those rich folk. But it doesn't matter to them. Or the highfalutins in government. Yeah, they tell you that. Yeah, we're going to bring things down. Why is everything going up? Every time I go to the grocery store, it's my wife and myself. 2 people. Thank God I don't know how people do it with kids. Every time I went to the grocery store yesterday, I wanted to make gumbo. I had a chicken breast already. I bought some andouille sausage. Is it andouille? Andouille? What else did I buy? I had the chicken. I bought andouille sausage, and shrimp was on sale. Large bag, $15 over at the Jewels. I just picked up a couple things. 15 there, a bottle of wine. A few things, couple bags, $80. Every time I go there, it's $80. Sometimes I don't buy any meat. My mom's biggest peeve, you didn't buy any meat and it was $80. What? You're getting ripped off. Everything's too high. Cars are too high. Maintenance, your house, living expenses, the house, the maintenance, every time you call a guy, he always goes, oh, man, he goes, it's a tough one. This is going to, this is going to cost you. It's never like I could fix it for $5. It's going to be $20. We could square this away. It's always 200 plus. Someone posted on social media the other day about having a refrigerator and the thing crapped out after 10, 13 years, something like that. I said my dad had the old Frigidaire. Thing weighed about 700 pounds. You have to have 3 guys move it anywhere. New refrigerator, I could take one hand, just fling it around the room, vacuum under it, whatever I have to do. My dad had that Frigidaire for I don't know how long. I think my sister still has it in the basement at her house now. It's funny because names seem to go in cycles. Now, when I was a youngster, teenager, I think some of the most popular names for girls were Debbie, Catherine. I was married to 2 Catherines who both went by Cot and Cat. Isn't that weird? I don't know how that happened. Just the strangest thing. Always weird crap happens to me. Debbie was what Jen was one. I knew a lot of Jens. Janet. Catherine, who else? Well, these were names when I was in school that every other girl was Sue. Susan was a big one. Guys, it was John. I knew a couple Tonys, but John was big. Jim. Larry. Rick. Not too many. Rick and Ricardo, really, that's where everyone's, oh, yeah, little Ricky. But there are old names that are sounding new again. So they go through this cycle. Anna's a big one coming back. You didn't know many Annas. I have a cousin named Charlotte. I think that's a wonderful name, and that was one of those names back from the 30s and 40s that kind of just disappeared, or earlier than that, maybe even the 20s. I think Charlotte's nice. Eleanor. You don't run into, I can't say I know an Eleanor. I may know one. Ella Fitzgerald, something like that. Eva, you don't hear that. Grace, not too many Graces around. I know a couple. Julia's kind of been around. Julia Child. Lucy. I know one Lucy. And she's a tad younger than I am. Rose was a big one back in the early part of the 20th century. We're in the 21st century, I hope, right? I'm getting that right. I get that AD, BC, 20th century stuff all screwed up. Calendars again, see? Stella. Oh, I love Stella. I knew a Polish woman that her name's Stella. But there are those names that you just don't hear anymore. Beatrice. I think it's a nice name. Beatrice. I love Alice. Alice is always a good name. I don't know if I know. Yeah, I do have an Alice. I have my aunt was Alice. Aunt Alice. No, that was Sally. I think her kid's Ethel. Ethel's a good one. Premium gasoline. Yeah, it was Aunt Sally. Sorry, Alice. They have a kid named Alice. I'm getting everything screwed up. Evelyn. I knew a punk rock girl out in L.A. Zaffo and Kiki are coming back. Actually, they sent me a text. Zaffo and Kiki, they sent me a text. They went, eh. Florence. Florence is a nice name. See, I'm going to give anyone pregnant out there. Anyone, Jen, are you pregnant yet? Are you getting pregnant again? Is she pregnant? No. No, she's not pregnant. She plan on getting pregnant? I'm just trying to figure out if someone needs a baby name, call us. My wife loves doing that. Actually, some friends of ours about 15 years ago took my advice and named their child Eli. I thought Eli was a cool name, and I didn't know. I think I knew one Eli. That's kind of like a dangerous-sounding name to me. Eli, is your kid a spy? You know, Wally is my father's name, and I only knew.
No kidding.
I only knew my father was Walter. They called him Wally or Red, or like my aunts used to call him. I don't know how this came up, but they called him Waller. No T. They just left the T out. Waller. Hey, Waller, what's up? But I knew a Walter. I knew a Walter in high school. Yeah, a tall, lanky guy.
And you know what, too, for a female's name, which was, I guess, quite popular back in the day, was Dorothy. That's my mother's name.
Yeah, Dorothy was a good one. And I bet you your teacher, Agnes, probably kept
Miss Agnes.
Yeah, Miss Agnes probably kept a tissue underneath her wristband for her watch.
Yep. That was that time, dude. That's pretty funny you remember that. But I mean, even all the nuns at grade school.
That was Miss Clee. She kept a snot rag in her wristband on the backside, on the underside. And I was just, what is that? I go, what do you got? Some snot you're carrying around there?
You know what, too, though? What I was thinking about the other day is, how many people carry a hanky anymore?
Oh.
I think that's kind of disgusting.
My father carried a hanky, but it was more or less for wiping stuff in case of an emergency. He didn't blow a load of snot in there and put it back in his pocket. Ronnie, I'm up against the clock, man. I got to run.
Yeah, sorry, my friend.
All right, thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
Ronnie out in San Diego. Good talk with you. Chairman Mao in the how. How are you, Chairman?
Hello, Lick.
Okay, it's good to hear from you again. Good.
Good to hear from you, too. I see a friend, Ronald Wrench.
Ronald who?
Ronald Wrench.
Oh, Ronnie the Wrench.
Ronald Wrench.
Yes.
Calling.
Yeah, he called in from San Diego. And
he sounded quite sober today.
He did. Yeah, he did sound quite sober, actually. Yes.
Very, very lucid in the sober.
Very lucid. Yes, Lloyd is good. How about Lloyd?
Royd? No child named Royd.
Not Royd.
No.
I guess we should stay with Chairman Mao. We should stay off the L's. Hey, did you guys get ashes for Ash Wednesday? You know what I used to do when I was a kid? We were supposed to go to church and get ashes. My mom and dad were chain smokers. There's ashes. Ashtrays are filled up. The bathroom had a full ashtray. The living room downstairs. My dad on a nightstand. He used to smoke in bed. He had burn marks in that nightstand. I still have the nightstand because it's a nice veneer. On the top there, he'd lay his butt sideways and it would just burn into him. My mom used to flip. But I just used to take the ash because I didn't want to go to church. I would just take the ash and dip it and do my own dot. How would they know? The priest have some sort of read on if it's blessed ashes or not? I love hearing different, I love hearing different interpretations of songs. When I go see a band and a cover band and they're playing the songs kind of the way the records are, I can't stand that. So I always like to see someone take it. Either if you can't, I don't want to hear it exactly. And generally, the guys can't sing as well as the originals. Yeah. And they try to do it, and they stink. So either you're watching a sucky cover band. I'd rather have them do a horrible version of a bad song I hate. The Front Room is produced by Marlo Kubik Music for Brantwood Studios in association with WJLB Radio. I have to say thank you all. Thank you to my manager, Morty Schmutzba, my agent, Herb Tukis, Princess Ludwika, always a good hello, and Big Larry, the Kolachki kid out of Griffith, Indiana. I will see you next week. Tony Panic, thank you so much. You guys have a great weekend. Always keep your microwave clean.